Have you ever wondered what the true meaning behind the 6-7 meme was? What about the truth behind Paul McCartney's death? Or what the prophecy in Deltarune really entails? Today, I will be answering all of these questions with a theory I like to call the 6-7 theory, and it's more important than you think. First, we need to start with the Beatles, the iconic band known for songs like Yesterday, Hey Jude, and Strawberry Fields Forever. On the 22nd of November, 1968, the Beatles released their album titled The Beatles, or more commonly known by fans as the White Album. It is one of their most highly regarded albums, but what's really important is the second to last track of the album. Revolution 9 is one of the Beatles' most odd songs. It is an avant-garde sound collage piece that has very mixed reception, with some calling it their best and some calling it their worst. The lyrics of this one are the interesting part though. Throughout the song, the lyrics number 9, number 9, number 9 are repeated. Sound familiar? The Beatles found out about 6-7 and made Revolution 9 to try and make number 9 a big meme before 6-7 could take over. Why would they do this? Well, I believe that the Beatles are actually part of a greater prophecy. In 1994, Mother 2, known as Earthbound in the West, was released for the Super Famicom. Mother 2's soundtrack samples the Beatles multiple times throughout. Mother 2 is a well-known inspiration for developer Toby Fox. In 2011, Toby Fox had a dream about the ending to an RPG. After that, he decided he would be the one to make said RPG. That concept came out to be Deltarune. Dreams are often said to be a reflection of the dreamer's subconscious mind and unfulfilled desires. As we know, 6-7 is still a meme, meaning the Beatles failed to stop it. Their unfulfilled desires to stop 6-7 went into Toby Fox's dream, where they were able to get the word out about the ancient prophecy seen in Deltarune. Deltarune's prophecy speaks about 3 heroes that will save the world from an event called the Roaring after the Titans shape from the Dark Fountains. In Chapter 4, more detailed explanations are given for the heroes, alongside a secret 4th hero. The descriptions are as follows: the cage with human soul and parts, the girl with hope crossed on her heart, the prince alone in deepest dark, and last with the girl. These actually refer to the 4 Beatles members. In 1966, Paul McCartney tragically died in a car accident. The Beatles, unable to go on without Paul, decided to replace him with a lookalike named Billy Shears. This is all true, but what most people get wrong about the Paul is dead theory is the fact that Paul isn't actually dead. He did die, but he's still alive inside of Billy Shears. See, in order to stop 6-7, the Beatles needed all 4 members, but without Paul, they had no choice but to replace him. In order to do this, they found a lookalike and put Paul's soul into the body, making a Jekyll and Hyde fusion of a person. In Revolution 9, the lyrics, number 9, are said, but what's really interesting is what you get when you reverse the song. The lyrics, number 9, turn into, "Turn me on, dead man." Pretty odd lyrics. Fans have used this as evidence that Paul is dead for years, but I believe it is actually evidence that Paul is alive. They said, "Turn me on, dead man," while recording Revolution 9 because they knew that they needed all 4 Beatles to stop 6-7. Paul and Billy now share a body, but they can't control which one comes out whenever. While recording Revolution 9, they said, "Turn me on, dead man," as a desperate attempt to get Paul to come out. The first hero of the prophecy is the cage with human soul and parts. In Deltarune, this refers to Chris Dreamer, the main character you play as. The interesting thing is that Chris and the player are 2 separate characters within the game. 2 people inside of one body. Remind you of anything? That's right, Billy Shears is the cage, and Paul McCartney is the soul. Paul McCartney is the first hero of the prophecy. The second hero is the girl with hope crossed on her heart. On the 30th of December 1999, George Harrison was stabbed at Friar Park by Michael Abram in his upper body. His lung was punctured, but he managed to survive. Michael Abram was specifically stabbing around the area in which the heart was located. He narrowly missed, but the point still stands. Hope crossed on her heart refers to George Harrison and the tragic stabbing incident. The third hero is the Prince alone in deepest dark. Every Beatles member is dead or has died at some point. Every Beatles member except for one, that being Ringo Starr. Being the last remaining Beatles member, you could easily say he is alone as the sole Beatle left alive. And last was the girl. At last was the girl. In the prophecy, it is stated that love finds its way to the girl. In Undertale, Toby Fox's other game, the character Sans states that love, too, is an acronym. It stands for level of violence. In order to get love in Undertale, you need XP, which stands for execution points. You gain these by killing monsters in the underground. Which Beatles member was murdered? None other than John Lennon. That's right, John Lennon is the girl. You might find it odd how every Beatles member was either murdered or has had a near-death experience. There's Paul's car crash, George's stabbing, and John's assassination. Even Ringo was once given a death threat before a show. I believe that this is no coincidence. Remember how George Harrison was stabbed with a knife? In Deltarune, the main antagonist, the Knight, the Roaring Knight's battle theme is called Black Knife. The name Roaring Knight is actually a reference to the Christmas song Silent Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night is a horror movie. In Silent Night, Deadly Night, the main character, Billy Chapman, has an iconic line that he says multiple times throughout this movie. This line is punish, which comes from his grandpa's idea that Santa Claus punishes bad children. This line relates to the theory by showing that someone was trying to punish the Beatles by killing them off one by one. Interestingly enough though, Ringo was the only one whose life was not directly in danger. Aside from a small death threat, he never had any moments where someone tried to kill him. Ringo is currently 85 years old. The average lifespan is about 80 years, and the UK fits into this average. No matter which way you spin it, Ringo is currently nearing the end of his life. In 2 years, it will be 2027. I believe Ringo will die at some point in 2027, right before one of the biggest events in the modern era. This big event is, of course, the release of the highly anticipated game GTA 6. GTA 6 is currently slated to be released on the 19th of November 2026, but it has been delayed multiple times, and with the game as big as GTA 6, the chances to get delayed once more to 2027 are very real. Now if GTA 6 is to release in 2027, then it will be GTA 6 in 2027. 6-7. Now, one big meme made to combat the 6-7 meme is the 6-1 new meme. The interesting thing about 6-1 is that it doesn't actually sound like 6-1. It sounds more like 6-1.
6-1, 6-1, 6-1, 6-1.
This is no coincidence. 6 is actually a reference to the Seeker missile from the game Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. One big similarity between Metroid Prime 2 and Deltarune is the existence of a dark world. In Metroid Prime 2, the dark world is overrun with these evil aliens called the Ing. My theory is that if GTA 6 is to be released in 2027, the Ing from Metroid Prime 2 will come to our world and destroy it. This may seem like grasping at straws, but there's actually more evidence pointing towards it. In Battle for Dream Island, the power of 2, there are 6 teams of 7 before the team swap.
6 teams of 7!
Additionally, the number 41 meme is also a big thing that became popular around the time of the 6-7 meme. In TPOT 1, you know those buttons don't do anything, right? After Winner joins the game, 2 remarks that 41 is a prime number.
41 is a prime number!
This may seem like a throwaway line, But knowing everything else, it can't be a coincidence that TPOT coined 2 number memes before they became a thing. In TPOT 15, Seasonal Shift, the failed debaters find a piece of your light and use it to travel back into the past and change it. This creates a rift. You know what else has rifts? Metroid Prime 2. In Metroid Prime 2, you use these rifts to travel between worlds. Another interesting thing about Metroid Prime 2 is its subtitle, Echoes. There is another popular Nintendo game called Echoes, that being Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. This game is important because you take control of 2 characters, Alm and Celica, an inseparable duo forced apart and brought together by the end. 2 become 1, become 2, become 1. TPOT stands for the power of 2, which in the context of the series was thought to mean 2's power. But as we know now, 2's power isn't actually their power, it comes from the Yori light. If TPOT doesn't refer to 2's power, then what does it actually stand for? I believe it actually stands for the power of 2 people. Who else is 2 people in 1? Paul McCartney and Billy Shears. Their power will be needed to stop the ink from destroying the world. Other various evidence exists, and loose ends also exist. One of the prophecies is they'll hear the ring of heaven's call. In the fandom, this is theorized to represent the thorn ring. But what do you get if you remove the R from ring? That's right, you get ing, like Metroid Prime 2. Now another connection that I believe exists is the connection between the red food dye, Red 40, and the prophecy. This is because in TPOT there are 40 contestants at first, and Red 40 is essential for life. The true connection is unclear, but there is definitely one somewhere. Another thing that must have some relevance is a rock that I have titled Chekhov's Rock. This Chekhov's Rock will have extreme relevance eventually, as the name implies, but what relevance is unclear. One more piece of evidence is actually the One Piece. The One Piece in the series is a legendary treasure, but the name has always interested me. Why would it be called the One Piece if it's a full treasure? Then it hit me. The One Piece is just one piece of a larger puzzle, the 6-7 puzzle. One piece is nearing its end, and I believe it'll end in either 2026 or 2027, and then we will find out what it holds for 6-7 theory. Finally, I'd like to talk about the future of our world and what can still be done to save it. Currently, only 2 Beatles remain, but they're not in very good states to be heroes of the prophecy. The world is in need of some new 4 heroes, but we have to figure out which people they are. I have a hunch as to who the first new hero could be, but I can't confirm anything yet. Other names mentioned in the prophecy, such as the Knight, the Angel, the Queen, the Flower Man, and the Lord of Screams must also exist somewhere. Who they are and what their roles are is unknown. Whoever the Knight is, they intend to help the Ing and destroy the world when GTA 6 releases. That much is certain. In Deltarune, the final tragedy is unknown, meaning we will have to figure it out ourselves. Until then, we need to figure out as much as we can about the prophecy to help stop the end of our world from coming. What does this all mean, and what can we do? Those are the questions we will hopefully find an answer to someday soon. In conclusion, the Ing are going to destroy the world, and the Beatles tried to stop it. Sadly, they failed, but it's not too late to stop it. Hopefully someday we will find our heroes and the world can be saved, but until then, we best prepare. If you liked this video, or hated it even, then make sure to dislike the video and desubscribe to my channel. Also be sure to share your theories in the comments. I'd like to hear them. That's all for now, and I'll update you whenever new information is found. Stay safe, and goodbye for now.